This time we're going to look at Venn diagrams and how we can describe things in them. So I've got a Venn diagram here and I've labelled it with A and B, and this little curly looking E thing just stands for everything, right? So everything is included in that. So this little U shape stands for union, and this upside down U stands for intersection. So let's start going through this. So when I say I want the union of A and B, I want everything that is in A and B. So I've got the numbers 1 through 10 in this set, and the only thing that does not belong in either A or B is 10. So I'm going to say this equals, I'm going to use my curly brackets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and my curly brackets. So that is everything that is the union of A and B. Now the intersection is just the bit where they cross over, right? It's exactly what it sounds like, an intersection. So the only thing they have in common are 2 and 6. So then I want set A. Well, that means I'm just going to look at this section here. So I've got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 9. And then E is everything, right? So I just need to absolutely mention everything. So that is numbers 1 through 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then this is where it starts to get a little bit trickier and people tend to make some mistakes. So this is another intersection, but whenever I see a little dash like that, it means not. So I'm looking for the intersection of A and not B. So this is A, but then I want not B. So that means I'm no longer allowed to use this bit, so I'm only looking at this part of A. But then I also need to intersect that with everything that's not in B. So that now includes 10. Because whilst 10 is not in A, it is not in B. And so we have to include it in the intersection of A and not B. So I'm going to say I have 1. I'm not allowed to use 2 because that's in B as well. 3 is over here, so 4 and 5. I'm not allowed to use 6, 7, 8, I've got 9, and then I've also got 10. And then again, this says not B. So all I'm going to do is include everything that's not in B. So I don't want any of this. And you might be able to tell that actually this is going to be the same answer as this, because everything that's not in B is either in A or outside. So that actually ends up being the same answer. 1, 4, 5, 9, and 10. But it's a different way of talking about it. I've got 2 more questions over here. Now, I've put some brackets around it this time. So this time I want everything that is not the union of A and B. So if we said before, this is the union of A and B, I want everything that's not that. And so really, it's just 10. I've only got one little thing in there. Now I want to say everything that's not in the intersection of A and B. So the only things that are in the intersection of A and B are 2 and 6. So they're the only things I'm going to exclude from my list. So I can have 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I know 10 is not in either set, but we just care about everything that's not in the intersection of those. All right, so hopefully these symbols are clear and you can work them out. If you're not clear on that, feel free to keep asking questions. We're going to do the opposite of what we just did now. So I've been given sets of information, and what I want to do is create some a Venn diagram that matches it. So I'm always going to start by drawing a box, because if there's ever anything that is included in E, so I haven't actually done that, but if there was another piece of information that said E is something or other and I had a different number, then I would always, like this, have to write it outside. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to immediately draw a Venn diagram. I'm going to look at my numbers first and try and see what overlaps, what information is available, so I know how to draw my circles. Because here you can see I'm going to have 3 circles because there are 3 sets of information. So the first thing I want to do is just look at commonalities. What do they have in common? So I can see that 2 and 2, they are in common. What else do they have in common? They both have 9 in common. And that seems to be it. So P and Q have a crossover like this. And then if I have a look at R, I've got 1 and 3. And 1 and 3 are both in P, but not in Q at all. So what I know is R is actually a subset of P. So everything in R is already in P. So I don't want to do an overlap like this. I actually want to draw a smaller circle inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a P and a Q. So this can be P, this can be Q. But then I'm actually going to draw R inside P. Okay, so I think that will work. So the first thing I'm going to do is my intersection. So 2 and 9 are the things that we said matched. So the only things that belong in, so we've got 1 and 3, so I'm going to do that as well. So 1 and 3 belong inside R, which are also inside P. So I've done those. Now I have a 7 that only belongs in P, and I've done all of the set P. And I've done all of the set R, so now I just need to add in the numbers that belong in Q. So I have 4 and 6 and 8 and 10. And there's nothing that belongs outside of it. So it's always a good idea to find things in common first and make sure you know what circles you have to draw before you start drawing, because people waste a lot of paper drawing incorrect diagrams in this topic. Okay, hopefully that's clear. If you have any questions, like I said, please feel free to drop me an email. Otherwise, good luck.